Last time on Umineko When They Cry, aside of the conversation between Dalinar and Erica, in which I give my usual ramblings of disagreements here and there, and now we're on the most important, but kind of shounen battle-like in a way, because it kind of feels like it of the sort. It's we got a little bit of a conflict between George and Eva. Although it pissed off Eva so much that it reveals the the inner evil of itself. So where are we at? First fantasy I really love. Sun Wukong, the Monkey King, wanted to become a god and was tested by Buddha. If it can jump free from the palm of my hand, I will acknowledge your wish. Then Sun Wukong managed to reach what he thought was the end of the world and found 5 pillars standing there, only to discover that they were Buddha's fingers and that he still hadn't left Buddha's hand.
僕が母さんから決別すると宣言した第一歩がそれだと言いたいわけだね。
あなたの反抗も葛藤も苦悩も国旗もすべて私がすでに通ってきた道、あなたのその第一歩など私という人生に飲み込まれる程度。いつまで目を背けてるの？見ちゃえば足元。
At George's feet, on the pitch-black earth soaked by the pounding rain, was what appeared to be a slightly red sash that glowed ominously and blocked George's first step. It was deep, viscous, or however you pronounce it, and it held George's foot in place. From Eva's perspective, as she gazed down from the sky. Hold on. As she gazed down from the sky, it looked like a vast red spiderweb that radiated out with George at the center. Ah, I see what you're trying to do. You're doing one of those type of things.
これが僕さ。生まれた時から数々の習い事で縛り付けられ、あんたの野望のためだけに育てられてきた僕の姿さ。
いいえ、それは違うわ。なら分かるようにしてあげる。見せてあげる。そして悟っちゃえば
The vast red spiderweb on the ground scooped up George as easily as scooping scum out of a pot. Then it lifted him into the air like a deer caught in a net and swung him about. Laughing insanely, Eva was as innocent and cruel as a grade schooler happily swinging about a bag filled with her gym clothes. On Tuesdays?
覚えてるさ。ピアノ教室だよ。
Oh my.
今でも猫踏んじゃったを聞くと背中の毛が逆立つね。
You still cringe whenever you hear I stepped on the cat? I don't think I recall listening to that.
幼稚園の頃はバイオリン教室だったわ。できる子はやってそうでしょ。あんた才能なさそうだったからね。
Are we just going through George's cringy moments in his past?
途中でピアノに変えたけど。じゃあ水曜日は覚えてる？
Wednesdays is the day that is in the middle of the week.
覚えてるさ。進学塾の日だよ。遠くて通うのが苦痛だった。
じゃあ木曜日は？
Wednesday is cram school?
補習塾だわ。
Supplemental lessons.
暗記科目は苦手だったものね。あなた応用はできるのに暗記は苦手な典型的なやればできる子だったわ。
痛烈だね。子供が三者面談で言われて一番イラつく言葉だよ。
馬を水場に連れて行くことはできるが水を飲ますことはできない。
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
イギリスの格言だね。
あなたのやる気を出して維持させるのが一番苦労したわ。
Ah, damn. George was bound hand and foot by the bright red spiderweb, reduced to the witch's plaything. She innocently swung him around and smashed him about, all with an insane laugh. George is getting the shit beaten out of again and again.
金曜日は覚えてる？
Fridays. Friday is my favorite day. Oh no. Whatever happened on a Friday?
もちろんさ。ユニークな塾だったね。親と一緒の塾なんていろいろな意味で窮屈だったよ。
子に釣り竿を買うな、一緒に釣りに行け。
Don't buy your child a fishing rod. Go fishing with him.
母さんはイギリスの教育論が好きだね。
親にとっても辛い塾だったわね。でもあれが一番あんたには効果的だったわ。高いお熱射、毎週金曜の夜を費やさなければならない面倒。 でも一番効果があった。その時悟ったの。子供はね、親が見ていないと伸びないの。子が目なら親は太陽だわ。太陽なくして芽吹く草木も咲かせる花も存在しないの。
Kids don't grow unless their parents watch over them. Huh. I mean, that is an interesting bit of a analogy there. But even then, I mean, once again, little bit of a harsh reality of the sort. Sorry about that. Had to do a little of a shotting there because I'm grinding up Grand Blue Fantasy on the side while reading, but I'm kind of understanding it. It's not like I'm getting distracted in my brain, which is like, get sidetracked, but I'm understanding. Still bound hand and foot, George was thrown, smashed. George was thrown, slammed, and smashed. He could do nothing. He was still like Sun Wukong, unable to leave the palm of his mother's hand. However, since he wouldn't surrender, he could still show resistance at any time.
じゃあ土曜日は
Oh no, Saturdays. Whatever happened to that? Saturday's my favorite day. Oh, shit.
家庭教師が来てくれてたね。
向こうから来てくれるから楽だったでしょ。
聖域である自室に毎週他人を迎え入れるのは苦痛だったよ。先生が帰った後に残る汗の匂いが今でも思い出せるくらいに嫌だったね。
Ew. He reeks body odor? That is fucking that is some mental torture there. Mental
あ
torment.
なたに学習姿勢を叩き込んでくれる素晴らしい先生だったわよ。弁護士の相談費用並みのお月謝を払った甲斐が本当にあったわ。
そして迎える日曜日と塾の予定がない月曜日だけが僕の安息日だった。
Hey, Sundays and Mondays. If he didn't have any extra school and could finally hey, it's like I had Sundays and Mondays are my day offs. That's funny.
これは皮肉だね。
I mean, unless it changes, but oh well.
火曜日から土曜日までの塾が僕を押さえつけてきたのか。
Uh-oh. It's crazy.
まさに僕は孫悟空だったわけだ。
Damn.
そうね。私の手のひらから逃れたいなんて思い上がりはお釈迦様にご行山で潰してもらうといいわ。
Crushed by Buddha's 5 mountains. Sun Wukong, who wanted to become a god, was crushed by the 5 mountains of fire, water, wood, metal, and earth, and sealed away. These are the 5 elements that the days of the week, Tuesday through Saturday, are named after in Japanese. Only now did George, who had always admired Sun Wukong, recognize this greatest of ironies. Actually, holy shit! What the fuck? Tuesday through Saturday? Wow, that's fucking wild. That is a power. You know what? That is kind of a power Powerful analogy. George is like Son Wukong. The fuck? Only now that George would always admire Son Wukong, recognize this greatest of ironies.
思い上がったあなたは
Ironic
孫
analogy.
悟空と同じに少し反省とお仕置きが必要だわあなたが改心したら私が解放してあげる
それは解放じゃないね。洗脳だ。
Brainwashing? I thought it's gaslighting.
何も考えなくていいのママに全て任せちゃえば私があなたの全てを決めてあげるそれがあなたにとって一番素晴らしい人生なのよ
I don't know if I would agree with this kind of motherly love, but sure.
世界で一番知的であなたのために全てを捧げてくれる女性を用意してあげる全ての成功もそれに至る道も全てママが用意してあげるわそしてやがては後ろ宮家で最高の名誉である当主の後継者にあなたは指名されるのそれから初めて
What the
あ
fuck?
なたは自分の人生を始めなさい
Well then. I totally didn't skip the dialogue there because I was annoyed by her voice or anything, but maybe that's kind. I guess. I guess by judging from her true colors, I think what she's doing this for the best of her son. So she wanted George to be like the most perfect man that she wanted.
第一歩
But even then, is that really the moral right to do so? I'll just listen to the whole thing just to torment myself just for skipping that.
世界で一番知的であなたのために全てを捧げてくれる女性を用意してあげる全ての成功もそれに至る道も全てママが用意してあげるわそしてやがては後ろ宮家で最高の名誉である当主の後継者にあなたは指名されるのそれから初めてあなたは自分の人生を始めなさい
I kind of understand, but at the same time, it's like that's pretty wacky. A first step?
笑わせないでよあんたはねまだ生まれてさいないのよこれはあんたを捕らえる私の巣じゃないわあんたを慈しんで育む私の子宮の中なのよ
That is so weird. George was slammed against the ground over and over. It was a heartless atrocity unlike anything one would expect a blood-related son to receive. However, in Eva's eyes, perhaps this was a sign of love for her precious son. Is corporal punishment a sign of tough love? Or is this like how, or is this is how the current era, or or is this some sort of postmodernist society of how they discipline their kids? The human-shaped lump of flesh wrapped in the red bag was slammed over and over, then thrown high into the air, where it was caught in a massive spider web in the sky, still covered with fresh blood. While he hung there as though crucified, George didn't even twitch. Even if he'd had some power to resist remaining to him, the red web pinning him there would have held even that in check. The rain, which had been falling non-stop since the beginning, quietly tormented and pitied George.
ご行山に封じられてしばらく頭を冷やしなさい。シャノンちゃんが悪い子だからやめなさいと言ってるわけじゃないのよ。彼女はジョージに青春と成長のきっかけを与えてくれたとても良い子だわ。でも後先を考えない婚約は別の問題よ。相手が彼女だからいけないと言ってるわけじゃないの。それを分かりなさい。
友を責めるな。行為を責めよう。だね。これもイギリスの格言だ。
本当にあなたは賢い子に育ったわ。いいえ、育っているわ。私のお腹の中でね。もう少しじっくりと育ちなさい。さあ、お仕置きは終わりよ。謝りなさい、母さんに。
The spider web released George reluctantly. Then it threw him to the ground beneath the cloudy sky.
ありがとう、母さん。
It was all George could do to get up on his hands and knees. Though he wiped the mud away and stood his ground, he still couldn't raise his head.
これまでのすべてが僕を思ってのことだったんだね。ありがとう。本当にありがとう。
Well, might as well give the appreciation.
そうよ。今は憎いでしょ。でもいつかきっと感謝するわ。私がどれほどあなたを愛していたかをきっと理解する。
火曜日から土曜日までの連日の塾での縛り付けも、僕を立派な男に育てようという母さんの努力だったんだね。
これもイギリスの格言よ。子供を幸福で包むことが最高の教育。
To cover a child in blessings is the greatest education of all.
ありがとう。だから僕からも母さんにイギリスの格言を送るよ。
なーに？
すべての木に斧を一撃ずつ加えても、一本の木も切り倒せはしない。
I'm really curious with all those British sayings would be important later on in this episode. Like, what do they mean? Because it has it has a bit of a interesting bit of trivia of the such. I mean, does it ever say that in the Grimoire? No, not really. But, it's... that's the thing, right? Like, it may be the longest visual novel, but there is some bit of a educational trivia of the sort.
なーに？それはどういう意味？
こっちの方がいいかな。学問に時間を費やしすぎることは怠惰にしすぎる。
Oh my.
フランシス・ベーコン。
Francis Bacon. I didn't know Bacon is actually the last name. And we're back due to a little bit of a background interruption there. But after George getting the shit beaten out of, let's see if he can make a little bit of a comeback there. Yeah, we stopped around like the Francis. I stopped around the Francis Bacon part, although it's just kind of a pretty interesting. To spend too much time in studies is sloth. The man, drenched in mud and blood, straightened his crooked glasses and slowly stood up. Though he was covered in filth, his appearance had a divine quality to it. Something that could only appear on a self-controlled man, not one who had merely been dozing in his mother's amniotic fluid. Amniotic? Ugh.
僕がサヨから学んだことは数えきれない。僕は彼女の前で初めて勇気と男気と向上心とウィットとユーモアと、それからひょっぴりのおしゃれを学んだんだ。皮肉だね。今日母さんが僕を立派になったと認める要素のほぼ全てが母さんの教育の賜物じゃないんだ。
Damn. Uh-oh.
ジョージ、あんたがまだそんなことを。戻してあげるわ、母さんの子宮に。そしてもう一度暖かな海で育て直してあげる。
As Eva howled, a bright red spiderweb appeared at George's feet once more and tried to scoop him up into the air again. However, at that instant, a powerful magic circle could be seen in the area surrounding George for just a moment. Faster than he could be scooped up by the spiderweb, George jumped, and with a sharp kick at the heel and a magnificent forward flip, he cut the shackles of that spiderweb apart. He's like, huh? It's like, that's right. The comeback is on. You know, it reminds me of the same situation when Angie was getting the shit beaten out of. And you know what? You know, karma's a bitch. That smooth movement proved that he had possessed the power to escape from those shackles all along. He had willingly allowed himself to be bound by that web.
母さんのこれまでの恩を一つずつ痛みで相殺させてもらったよ。おかげで僕も親離れがきっちりとできそうだ。必要だね。
Ooh. I do need to get some water though, so hang on. Alright, let's do it.
たまには親子喧嘩も。
Fights between parents and kids. Well, not every parenthood is always going to be hunky-dory, you know? So I guess he's not wrong in a way.
ジョージ、私にどうしてそこまで逆らってあんな小娘と。
Because sometimes there always needs to be a tad bit of rebellion in mind. I mean, look at Jessica. Like, Jessica can have some bit of a mischievous, rebellious mind.
必要なのはやはり 母さんの子離れのようだね。じゃあそろそろいいか
な。何がよ。
Wait, what?
そろそろいいかな。反撃しても。
Time to fighting back. Time to start fighting back. Oh, oh. The curtain of spiderwebs that Eva shot out in defense were all too slow. George weaved through them in one instant, and the next, he was right before her eyes. Eva jumped out of the way of a kick that would have knocked her feet out from under her, then blocked the second half of George's double roundhouse with a high kick of her own. Oh god. I remember the shonen battle bullshit with the Gap. Now it's the shonen battle bullshit with his mother. Or her, the demon of that is within her. So
母さんの習い事で一つだけ感謝しているものがあるよ。
それは何曜日のかしら。
長期休暇のたびに集中的に習わされた武道教室の数々だよ。
doesn't sound like you're happy. It sounds like a cope type of laugh. Oh my god. Eva's swift feet flashed like lightning. Low, 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 mid-level attack. As George's head fell forward, she caught it in both hands as though she was about to smash it against the ground. It was then met with Eva's knee as it rose like a bolt of lightning from the earth.
ムエタイも習えばよかったのに。ジョージも一緒に習えばもっと楽しかったわ。
そうだね。母さんと一緒に武道を学ぶ時が一番楽しかったよ。
なら今が一番楽しいんじゃない？楽しいねジョージ、楽しいね。
楽しいかい母さん。息子と遊ぶのは
楽しいわ。あなたは私の最愛の息子。私のお腹の中で優しく優しく愛してあげるわ。あなたがお腹を蹴るのさ、愛しい。
了解だ。だがその蹴りはお腹の外からになるけどね。
George's knee buried itself into Eva's abdomen. An instant before she felt the pain of that fierce attack, Eva watched her son's kick with a proud smile and then vomited.
母さんももう年なんだから、いい加減そういう若い子向きの服は自重した方がいいんじゃないかな。
ジョージ。
Well, that's what happens when you manifest into the younger version of Eva. Oh boy. Her chin still covered in vomit, Eva looked up at George in twisted anguish. She could see how pathetic her face was by her reflection in his glasses.
母さんも僕も一緒に子供時代とお別れしよう。さようなら、母さん。
Wait, what? The fierce lightning and rain made time freeze. George's beautiful kick had stopped an inch from Eva's chest. However, the power of the red magic circle surrounding George had already pierced Eva's body. Though he had stopped without hitting her, blood poured out at Eva's back. No wound had been left on her chest, but her heart had been punched through. Huh. So the kick did not impact, Eva-Beatrice, but it's the, huh. That's wild. Look at this shit. Yeah, it stopped an inch, but from the looks of it, it's the, okay, that's just wild. Eva slumped backwards and landed in a puddle with a splash. There were no convulsions. Her life had been ended without leaving her even an instant to breathe about in pain.
その辺にいるんじゃないかい。ガブ。
As he straightened his glasses, George spoke to the rose thicket behind him. Then a pitch-black hole opened in the air there, and Gap jumped out.
大したもんね。
Why do I get the feeling this was part of the one of the 72 great demons idea, that she was the one that summoned the Eva-Beatrice in the first place as a part of a trial?
あのエヴァ・ベアトリーチェを継承前とはいえ打ち倒すなんて。
やはりいたかい。余計なちょっかいを出さなくてありがとう。
Then what happens if Gap did interfere?
親子水入らずで過ごせだよ。
まさかいなかったわよ、私は。今あなたが私を召喚したんだわ。
どっちでもいいさ。君にお願いがあるんだ。
聞く義理はあるの？
聞いてくれないのかい。
With his back still facing her, George reset his glasses. The threat in his voice held the solemn presence of a king who could control demons. That presence made Gap gulp, and she licked her lips before bowing respectfully to his back.
私はイケてる男が好きだけど、王者はもっと好きだわ。
She loves hot guys but like monarchs even more.
なんなりとお命じを、魔王陛下。
You're referring to George as the demon monarch? That's wild.
後ろ宮家の当主に憧れ、その夢と妄執に生きた彼女の亡骸をふさわしい場所に安置してほしい。
I mean, George did say something about raising up a castle, so I don't know how much of exaggeration it'd be. I assume it's the analogy for house, but I don't know about him being a monarch.
じゃあ金蔵の書斎へ。
いや、貴賓室がいいな。屋敷の2階のあの開かずの貴賓室。
あの部屋ね。了解したわ、ジョージ陛下。
Gap approached Eva's corpse and lightly tapped the ground with her right heel. When she did, a large hole opened up, swallowed both Gap and the corpse, and closed. After a while, a small hole opened in the air, and the staff Eva always carried, marked with the one-winged eagle that symbolized the Ushiromiya family's leader, was spat out into a puddle, because the corpse would no longer have any use for it. No words. George slowly approached that staff and stepped down hard on the tip. When he did, the staff spun violently into the air, and after passing by the blue moon that honored the Demon King, it flew into George's outstretched hand. The instant he grasped it, another fierce lightning bolt landed nearby, and by the time the flash disappeared, the staff he held had become a spray of gold butterflies and vanished. It was as though George had crushed the staff out of existence. Huh?
これで僕はノルマクリアだ。次の人に番を譲るよ。
自分の母さんを手にかけるなんて。
He, I mean, what is Jessica going to? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Jessica's trial is that she has to kill her own mother or Kraus. Oh God. Oh God. I wouldn't be surprised, but it sounds. I wonder if this is how the trial is going to go. The family turns against each other.
自分を世界で一番最初に愛してくれる人であり、そして一番最後に決別すべき人だ。
I don't think George killed his own mother. I feel like he killed the devil that was in her. But I don't know. That sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty bit of a complicated situation there.
それが家を出るということだよ。これが僕が作用をめとるために見せられる勇気だ。
Is this like the lesson learned from him? Is like he has the moral right to rebel against his own parents?
ジョージ様。
Oh God. Now we're just getting to ethics in this one.
あっぱれなり後ろ宮ジョージ。まずは見事であるぞ。
たとえゲーム上のこととはいえ、駒のこととはいえ、自分の母親を殺すのは愉快なことではないね。
Well, it sure is distasteful, that's for sure.
しかし、それが君たちの課す試練だと言うから、僕は答えたよ。
What the hell? Is he really not gonna complain about it? It's like, but you know, I mean, then again, Eva was being pretty strict about it, and George was like, you know what? As much as I strongly disagree about going against, I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm like, God damn, this guy does not give a fuck. He stared at the two demons, The demons looked at each other, then showed their surprise with their now familiar, exaggerated gestures.
素晴らしいわ。なんて見事なのかしら、ゼパル。
そうだね、フルフル。ジョージ君の決意は本物だ。どうやら僕は君を見誤っていたようだね。謝るよ、許してほしい。
George chose not to go along with this theoretical conversation. He just quietly looked down upon the game board, found the piece representing his mother, which was right next to his, and tipped it over. This was the trial that Zepar and Furfur had set for him. I wonder how that's going to go for Jessica and Chick Bieto. So that the love of the pair will stand true, offer up the life of one person by your own hands. It was similar to that trial during Bieto's games, where they were given 3 options as part of a test to select the next family head. However, a pair of lovers will never abandon each other's lives. So, they were automatically left with the option of sacrificing the life of another instead. In fact, it was merciful that they only had to choose the life of one person other than themselves, instead of all. And besides, it only meant taking those lives as pieces on the board. For the versions of themselves to whom the game board was the only world, this was a tragic parricide. But to those who stood around the game board in this witch's smoking room, it was nothing more than a movement of the pieces representing George's will to overcome his parents. However, the fact remained that the demons had ordered them to take these lives, even if it was just within one of the endless fragment worlds. George appeared to have distanced himself from the events on the demon's game board, but Jessica still seemed to resist the idea of stealing another person's life, even if it was only their life as a piece on the game board. Well, that's what happened when they signed up.
おじけづいたか？いえ、バトラさんの望むベアトリーチェはこんなことでは臆したりしません。
さあ、次は誰が試練に挑戦を？
That's a good question.
誰でもいい。次なる犠牲者を選び出してほしい。
That's a good question.
誰でもいい。次なる挑戦者は名乗り出てほしい。
誰も名乗り出ないなら僕の勝ちということだね。
へえ、そうなるわ。ならばおめでとう、後ろ宮ジョージ。
あなたとあなたの愛する人の恋の成就へ至る扉の鍵を。
Wait, what? There's no way it would be that quick.
僕たちは今こそ授けん。
待てよ。
As the demons delightedly named George as the victor, they were interrupted by the next challenger.
ジェシカさん。
Chick Bieto stood there was like, Jessica, are you sure about this?
次は私だぜ。いいぜ、やってやろう。私だってカノン君のこと半端に考えてるわけじゃねえってこと見せてやら。
Okay. And it ends just like that. Yeah, we were 50 minutes in. Yeah, I had like a few pauses here and there, but could be worse during the recording. Sunday, October 5th, 1986. It is 007. Romantic Regrets. Well, I think this is a good time to end it from here. Chapter 10. We are, I think we're halfway done. I don't know how much we got available. I don't know how many chapters left, considering how big the episodes can be, but let's see. It's 007 a.m. Anyway, next part. Let's see what's going on within the family conference of the sort. So, with that said, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.